Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and only 2 years apart from my first one. Today I want to show you my collection of variant covers drawn by Stanley Artgerm Lau. Artgerm is probably my favorite variant cover artist right now. He's doing amazing work, especially when it comes to these modern good girl covers. And I want to show you what I've picked up since I've been collecting comic books over 2 years ago. The first one is The Amazing Mary Jane #1. This was the first cover I've seen of Artgerm, and it was just love at first sight. The colors, the style, everything here is just so perfect. Next up we have Black Cat #1. I still can't believe Black Cat #1 was the fourth best-selling issue in 2019. But when you think about it, Marvel had around 30 variant covers for it. There were a lot of variant covers done by specific retailers, and when most of them were as good as this one, it's easy to see why it sold so well. Next up we have Demon Days X-Men. This is noted as a one-shot, but actually is a part of a miniseries done by Peach Momoko. Just that Marvel issued every single part of that miniseries as a one-shot. Kind of disingenuous of them, but if it sells, so be it. Another #1, we have Heroes Reborn with quote-unquote Marvel's Wonder Woman, as Artgerm himself called her. An amazing cover, and one that actually rivals Artgerm's covers of the actual Wonder Woman. Next up we have New Mutants #1 with an amazing magic cover. Really like the colors here. Artgerm did a great job on this. Return of the Valkyries #1. This was a part of the King in Black event. I'm gonna plead ignorance and say I have no idea who this is. I'm gonna say Valkyrie, but either way, an amazing cover. Next up, it's Spider-Woman #1. This was funny because this new series has Spider-Woman wearing a new costume, but Artgerm was like, no, classic all the way. Until Spider-Woman #5, which has our hero donning the new costume. This was actually the 100th issue of the series, and Marvel decided to celebrate it with a lot of variant covers. Next up we've got Symbiote Spider-Man, the variant cover for the first issue with an amazing Gwen Stacy, probably my favorite Marvel cover there is. I just love this so much. X-Men #1, Amazing Jean Grey. This came out just a week after the Amazing Mary Jane, and it was just back-to-back greatness from Artgerm here. Amazing colors, such a lovely pose, the classic Marvel girl costume, what's not to like? And our final Marvel variant cover, it's for Inferno #1, the end of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men run. Here we have a lovely Mystique cover. That's all for Marvel. Next up, let's see some indie covers. And first up, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn from the very successful Sony video game. They decided to actually do a comic book series of it, and they obviously uh, decided to make an Artgerm variant cover. Next up, we've got what is probably my biggest surprise in comic books, and that's Mirka Andolfo's Everything. I just love every single series that she's writing and or drawing. Uh, Here we have Mercy #1, followed by her latest series, Sweet Paprika. A lot of fun with this one, not so much with this one, but still amazing work by Mirka Andolfo. And speaking of fun and not so much, Unnatural issue #2, the last in the variant cover I have of Artgerm, but still a very fun one. Okay, now we're getting into the really good stuff. We've got DC Comics with Batman 92 and Punchline. Absolute madness around this character when she first appeared. Batman 89, Event Leviathan. This was actually supposed to be the variant cover for Batman 89, I think, but DC was like, you know what, we've sold a ton of these, let's spread it out. So here we have Batman 92, followed by Batman 108, another new character by James Tynion, Miracle Molly. DC tried to replicate Punchline's success, not as faithful, but still it was quite a sought after variant for a while. Next up, my favorite series of variant covers by Artgerm. Here we have Catwoman, and there are a lot of variant covers for these. So we've got Catwoman issue #1, issue #2. I just loved this. Artgerm did a few variant covers for Batgirl and Supergirl prior to this, and I'd missed those. I wasn't collecting comic books back then, but when I saw he was on Catwoman next, I was like, no, I'm getting all of these. And again, he's doing such a great work with this. Even this cover, you notice Catwoman, but then you see Batman's reflection, and it's actually like this, and it's just so awesome. Another great cover. The only gripe I have with this series was that he had a few pauses with issues 7 and 8, and it kind of breaks up the whole collection. But still, amazing covers. Even when they have this annoying label here with Year of the Villain and stuff like that, the art is still great. Here he's doing the homage for the animated series, and it's like perfection. Another homage for Michelle Pfeiffer's character from Batman Returns. Again, amazing work. And while he did end his run with issue 15, he ended up returning to Catwoman with her Future State miniseries when he did his variant cover for the first issue of that. I've had these McFarlane Toys action figures here this whole time, so of course this was coming up. Here is Dark Knight's Death Metal by Snyder and Capullo, and Artgerm surprisingly did the variant covers for the whole miniseries, starting up with Wonder Woman. Here we have Harley Quinn, Supergirl. Again, I missed Artgerm's series of variant covers for Supergirl, but man, just look at this. Really need to get those. Something you don't really see from him all that much, and that's male hero covers. But here we have John Stewart, Green Lantern, the variant cover for issue number 5 of Death Metal, number 6, and finishing up with number 7. Now we are getting into anniversaries, and DC really likes to do this. Every time they get a big number for a series, they celebrate it by putting out a lot of variant covers, and these were no exception. I don't really like this practice, except for Detective Comics 1000 and Action Comics 1000. I think those truly deserved it. The other ones, not so much, but again, we're getting amazing variant covers out of this, so can't complain too much. So here we have Batman Detective Comics 1000. A very quick celebration after the last issue, Detective Comics 1027. This, I think, was the first time Artgerm drew Batwoman, so really special cover here. Again, returning to Catwoman, it was as if he had never left. And the final one for Wonder Woman 750, probably my favorite DC variant cover. It's hard to tell, he had so many amazing Catwoman ones, but still this is very much out there. An amazing drawing here. And that was it for my collection of Artgerm variant covers. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time when I wanna show you my collection of Adam Hughes and J. Scott Campbell variant covers. Bye.